Welcome to the Roy Anthony and Friends Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody out there?
Is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick
every Tuesday.
Everything is going
every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, the Roy Anthony
every
Show. It's
Tuesday.
during the week, homie. The Roy
Every
Anthony
Thursday.
Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a
Tap
call
in.
before we gotta
Tap
go.
in.
What you listening to? The Roy Anthony
Every
Show.
Tuesday.
Come on and kick it with us. The Roy Anthony
Every
Show.
Thursday.
It's going down, homeboy. The Roy Anthony Show. Co-host
Tap in.
Big Hank. We getting it. What you think? Hey. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank
And Cynthia Joy.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Man, it's good to be back in the house again. This is Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. My co-stars, Big Hank, Cynthia Joy, will be joining real shortly soon here, unless they have emergencies. And we know Big Hank works for the church, so he makes sure that things handled. Then Cynthia Joy works for herself and her family. You know, we all do, but you know. So today is November the 14th, 2003. It's started off at the top of the hour, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And like Cynthia Joy be saying, let me say this, 11 a.m. Mountaintop Time. Oh man, and we had a good time this past Thursday. But before I get into that, I always like to give credit and credit's due and what the WO platform was made for. I'm Roy Anthony, professional comedian, along with Big Hank and Cynthia Joy. But this is where we just basically come together, having a conversation with some of our good friends and neighbors around the U.S. Never particular the subjects aren't like your typical subjects because we pride ourselves on having conversations. And reason why we came up with that is because the WO was created to bring awareness to how our veterans, active and non-active veterans, commit suicide on a daily rate. This is real. The numbers was astronomical. Matter of fact, the WO was coming up with a number of their own that you could talk with people who was in case you are in a dire needs and you're thinking that you was going to commit suicide when they got a number. Now listen, it's not just for veterans, but it's for anybody. It's 811. If you're in a dire need, if I'm not mistaken, it's 811. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but you can call to speak to them. Now the WO was the first ones I knew that came up with this idea because we even had an 800 number, Google. What's up, brother, here on downtown Seattle? Carl, your is coming up as Facebook user. Co-stars is in the house right now. What's up, Joy?
What's up, Sugarfoot Sweet Face? How you doing, honey?
I'm doing fine. How yourself?
You already know I'm good. I'm in the building. I'm breathing and blessed. So
Man, that part right there. That part right there. And before I was just in the middle of credit before we get into, because I had fun with Cynthia Joy. We all got to meet up, me, her, Big Hank. And but back on these credits, um, the WO, which was created to bring awareness to how our veterans, active and non-active, commit suicide. And at one time, WO had coming up with a number, 800 night number or something you can call. And one of us, we was going to all volunteer to be able to speak with somebody to let them know that, whatever encouragement, whatever, sometimes you just got to give someone an ear and to let them know, hey, you're not thinking alone like that. And so we prided ourselves on creating this show was to have a conversation and speak on conversations that a lot of people is hard to address. We've had like Miss Cynthia George, stroke survivors, health issues, personal situations, spirituality situations, character makeups. We try to address every type of conversation, and we know we can't do it all in one show. So we've been, each show is interesting, and we find we sometimes we find something that
hey,
like
Scarlett.
yeah, hey Starlet, we find some things that make you laugh, some things that make you cry, some things that make you upset. But we pride ourselves that it's a conversation. It's not a confrontation. It's a conversation. And the WO was created by Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, along with the co-creator Goose, social producer Blue Phoenix, and the other social producer Ethan Daly, our sponsor who makes this all go down, Matthew Brooks. Then we have our good neighbors, the BV Nation, back with veterans. You see Carl Loomis, who comes in, represents them very well. Um, and a lot of people who supports Carl Loomis, especially with his bringing any type of ride up on the beach type. I can't wait. I thought it was just Jeeps. He's like, no, it's any type of vehicle, terrain vehicles. And then we want to give a shout out to the Long Beach All Stars, which consists of Long Beach, Compton, Linwood veterans, non-veterans working together. And then the WO platform, which consists of us around the whole U.S. For real, we're around the whole U.S. and our own personal family, friends, associates, and those who don't like us. Yeah. So anyway, we know that all the Thanksgiving Day is soon approaching. Uh, that's a holiday. Me celebrate Thanksgiving like that in the culture of what it is, but it is a holiday where people have come together. My partners will tell you I don't mind coming once a week, sometimes twice a week, and we all eat family. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
uh, but I don't like for a calendar to tell me, this holiday or that holiday. You
Mm.
know, like Christmas. There's no way that Jesus could have been born in December. When the angel came to talk to Mary, it was like June and July then. It said in the 6 months. That's what it said. That sounds like June and July, you know what I'm saying? And it was not no wintry August moment. It was springtime and stuff. If you go back and math. So but anyway, how you doing and stuff, man? How'd you like in LA kicking?
I mean, I'm good. LA was good. I'm gonna be back. Don't worry about it. I'll be back. I made a few
I
connects.
never said nothing about you ain't gonna be back. You said don't. I said how you enjoyed it
I'm
out
just,
there.
I like
We
you so
know you're
much.
gonna come
I'm
back.
definitely gonna be back. I made a few connects while out there. Linked up with some family that I realized live right in LA. So it was cool to drive out and meet them for the first time in person. So that was
Okay.
real dope. Met an auntie who I never had a chance to meet in person. So yeah, it was a
Wow,
little
you
week.
went through all that from after I seen you Thursday night.
Hey, I turned up and moved around.
Well, I see that and stuff. We had a good time, and then Me and Cynthia, we kept trying to find something to eat and drink. But it was Thursday night. It's like what 11:30 or something. We ended up having to hit a taco truck,
Right.
and then then we went. It was a bar right across the street, the B Room and stuff. And I then actually no, it was foggy after that and stuff. You know, I know. I was like, hey, let me get up because last time I saw you, you was waving from the cover like, hey, I'm gone. I said, all right.
I got a little video though. I got my memories.
Okay. Okay. I'm in the video too.
You for sure. It's all you.
For real?
It's all you. But it was a good time. It was for sure a good time.
Okay, you did it at the B Room?
I did it afterwards when we left.
Did you? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to see
I'm
it
like,
was nothing intimidating.
Him look like he can't hang with me. The juice was real. Yes, Starlet, a taco truck. That taco was lit too.
Yeah, it sure was. I had what you ate something else though.
I had a tostada and it was so good. Ooh, that was one
of
the
wait a minute. She talking about somebody can hang and stuff. But I told her, I said, you want to hang? So I used that Remy Martin. So I got 2 double shots of Henny with a Stella Artois to chase. Midway through our drinks, she's like, you can't handle that beer.
I didn't even want the beer because, like I told him, for all the ladies who watching this, y'all already know we got enough yeast inside our body. Don't
That's what she said.
No extra yeast. I was good on that beer. I ate these shots, but that beer.
Wait a minute, she let me order it, and then she gonna be tell me. She let me order it first. She said, "Sugar Dumpling, let me tell you about beer with women." I said, "Okay." A little bit too much information, but thank you for sharing with me again. And let me tell everybody, we was like, this real like brother and sister.
Real life.
We had the rapport like that, and I felt like that. And I was like, when I knew that she was, I think, heading to some family members and stuff, and I know that you was now you said okay.
He was so funny, Scarlett. Oh my God, he was so funny. What you finna try to talk about?
No, I was going, you know what? I said, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna wait till you feel, talk about it because I'm interested in how, the family you just interested when you said you just met an auntie and
oh yeah, my auntie was lit and she definitely know a lot of comedians out there. She do a lot of stuff. She do a lot of producing and stuff with some people out there. So we talked about a lot of stuff. And then my cousins, those was my other hood side. So I ended up in the hood of LA where I couldn't go down the block and I had to flip a bitch. So I didn't go down the block and they steal my car. It was a situation. But luckily I'm from the Ida B. Wells. So it was like it was what it was, you know what I'm saying? And plus,
you didn't run over some people, so
I would have straight ran over some people if they tried to carjack me. I would have ran over a few people, but I wasn't even worried about it because I was like, I got faith in God, so what's for me gonna be for me. So I wasn't even tripping about it. I had a good time, but I had this one cousin. She real bougie with it, so she kind of threw off the vibe a little bit because she didn't seem like she belonged to us. I don't know what was going on with her, but other than that, it was a real good time.
And, the one cousin, when you say she was bougie with it, what you mean? You said she was bougie with it. Like she was
number one, first of all, anybody who know me know I definitely don't pretend to be nothing that I'm not. And so sometimes my mouth is a little potty, you know what I'm saying? Which means my music is also a little potty. So I was shuffling my little channel on Pandora and, my little music was going. And then one of them hood songs came on. I think it was I Don't Fuck With You. I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
You stupid. That one. That's my jam, though. I was.
Oh, you was bumping. Okay, you in your thing, right? Element.
In the shower getting it. This bro,
like
she gonna turn my radio off. Talking about, I don't want to hear that kind of radio. Well, now that you want to hear from the radio, you about to hear from the mouth. So she caught it all from the source.
Wait a minute. She turned the radio down in your car?
She turned my phone, my personal phone, she turned it off. She was real ballsy and turned it off. So the off that she thought she was gonna get, she got it in raw form. And
Devil
was
Doc said, "Hey, Roy, what's up? What's up with you?"
like,
Um, I don't know who Devil Doc is, but I'm like, "What's up with you? What's up? Good to see you, bro. Good to hear
yeah,
from you."
she got it in raw form. So the customer,
Wait a minute, hold up,
what?
hold up. Wait a
What?
minute. First, I thought I was about to say it was disrespect because they turned the car radio off. You said it was your phone.
Yeah, I would have took it better if it was the radio because it was a rental. It ain't my car; it's a rental, so I ain't gonna trip. But when you touch my personal phone, we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make it known. What's up? What's up, plug? How you doing, Sugarfoot? But no, so I had to let her know what it was. You know what I'm saying? And I told her, don't let this stroke fool you because this one hand is a haymaker and you will get caught.
Man, look, it's Kyle Lundy. That's who Devil Doc. He don't. Oh, I shouldn't have said his last name. It's Kyle. He said I do the show Richie. Hey man, for one, when you said Kyle, you wouldn't have to say nothing. It's Kyle who is the co-star with Richie show who comes on this evening. Anybody's watching, watch the WO Entertainment show. They come on Tuesdays evenings, 6 p.m. Um, Midwest time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Mountaintop time. Cynthia, you see, I'm putting that mountaintop in. Yeah. He said, Cal, I do the show Rich.
Good looking, because Roy tried to play us on the mountain time. He didn't want to put us on the vibe, but
Well, I always, when we're on TV, they show it's either gonna be a Eastern time, Central time. Then they say
they disrespectful too. Don't worry, they're gonna get the mountain time because I'm gonna be on the scene and I'm about to change some things. Don't you even worry about it. Mountain time is gonna hit the map.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm glad since you're on the scene, there's something I've been looking at, and this is really because everybody on our shows are myself, we all work hard and we try to accomplish things and make do for our family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if anybody understands this, but middle class is going away. It's either you have or you have not. It's called poor and wealthy. And this turn in events came after former Bill Clinton left the office when he made the world money popular. Like when they made where if you from Mexico, the dinero is strong to where if you're a citizen there, you can buy a car and a house here where they're not paying the same much as the USD, which is the United States dollar. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
See, where if you was buying a house and your banking is through America and you have a Latino neighbor and their banking, well, not all Latinos from Mexico get this correct, but those who have came from over Mexico, they have accounts there where 500 dineros is basically like $200 to 2,000. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. Like if we paying $2,000, they're paying 500 in dineros, or 2,000 dineros is like equivalent of $500. You understand it? You see the gap? Mm-hmm. And I was going to get into this. I was
said the European Economic Community is killing the American dollar.
Okay, and it's been like that for one. Okay, back in I've been doing this research. I'm a researcher. Back in the 40s and 50s, the American people made transistor radios. Everybody was even working and stuff. Now we start making packs where a person say, okay, because most of our consumer, the stuff that we get, like cell phones, I can't understand why we don't got what they call the American phone. We got Samsung. Mm-hmm. That's overseas. We got even somebody say Apple. Apple is not built in America no more. They built overseas.
Damn near everything we got in the mail.
Yeah,
overseas.
radio transistors, everything. We say made in China. I don't understand why we have any national debt when, like, why we have a national debt when their stuff is in our stores. So the biggest thing that we supply is that black gold that we work with these other countries, which is controlling the oil and natural gases. Now, in America, though, we have made where people like, let's say, Jeff Bezos with Amazon, they're multi-billionaires, where the people who makes it up. Now, if he was to make it where if you've been working with me a year, you get so much stake into Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? The differential of when there was an owner and your employees was like a 5% difference. Now, here's the owners and here's the workers. The gap is almost 35 to 50%. Elon Musk. Now, a lot of people don't understand about the history of Elon Musk because his grandfather came up with how to do supply electricity to neighborhoods and cities without you paying a dime. You don't hear me though. See, somebody listens, they say, well, man, Roy's deep with it. Now, the European dollar has always increased ever because, believe it or not, United States of America still pays British IRS monies. That's what the IRS taxes. When you file your taxes, we're still giving them 15% based off our economy. Ever since Christmas addicts refused to pay them taxes for his teeth. That's why he was the first man to die for America. That's what it says. We're still paying taxes to Britain. You can look it up yourself. I was shocked. I was like, what? The national debt, which should be paid to the American people. And I'm saying this because, do you know, throughout the Social Security, you know, you supposed to work so until you're 65, you retire, you get SSI, like money for you work all these years in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if somebody dies, they don't have it to where, like in the military, where if your husband or your wife who's in the military, if they die, even when they're not serving, the wife continues to get the check. But in Social Security, if you die, no one gets that check. So the money was piling up. First one who asked about borrowing on it, former President Bill Clinton. Hey, what's all this money right here? He said, we can borrow on it. We can borrow on this cash. And since nobody's demanding on it, we really don't have a turn back date to give it back. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You done found a big old thing of money in a network of people who died before they was to be able to collect their Social Security. And since Social Security got it mounted to where if you die, that's it. Sorry, Charlie, nobody else in your family needs it. You see what I'm saying? After the Great Depression, they said work was heavy. People were stressing, working their hearts off, trying to having heart attacks, falling off bridges, stuff like that. You're a young dude working construction, you get killed, right? Family don't get nothing unless he had a nice insurance.
Right.
He don't get the SSI. You about to turn 65, about to retire, and all of a sudden you died 2 nights before your birthday. For real. So guess what? Every president, and this is a lot of people ain't gonna want to believe me. Every president since former Bill Clinton borrowed from this money, except for one president. Former President Donald Trump. They all took this loan because look here, okay. I'm gonna tell you to do your math. I tell everybody do your math, and this is going into a subject. A president supposed to make, let's say, $400,000 a year. He has kept with all his bills. He has taken care of all the plugs as far as bills and everything. He cannot take in investments as a president. You cannot take in sponsorships as a president because the United States is going to take care of you. They give you a severance of $400,000 that can sit in there because we've taken you everywhere you need to go. We feed you where you need to go and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You with me, right? Just alone, I love all humans and everything, but President Barack Obama came into office only having $2.3 million. And that was from campaign donations that the state said, hey, you can have you 16-year span, 400,000, 400 times 8 to my understanding, you should came out with another $3.2 million. And so because you don't have, I don't know how you come out with $20 million. See, I'm gonna be like the dude on the burial. When these greedy corporations take from the little man and squeeze, like, okay, the pandemic. We sit up there and the pandemic shut down little mom and pop stores and stuff. And they told us who was essential. That's when I felt like this was a rulership, like the European rulership, because you're telling me Walmart is essential. McDonald's is essential. Subway was essential.
Right.
Not Little Tito's taco stand. Not Big Bertha May's soul food shack.
Right.
One of the brothers, or I think this is Carl.
So I made sure when I first got into construction, I had life insurance where I and my family would be paid out if I died before my retirement.
Is that okay? Now that's an insurance plan.
That time was definitely one dictatorship was at its fullest.
Yeah, that's a dictatorship when we shut down America. See, they made, I don't, and I can't blame it on the president and all that because a lot of these cats was agreeing with it. Dr. Fauci, to me, was a mad scientist who had too much power in his hand. You're 80 years old, you ain't trying to kick it out anyway. That's like them old people will tell the little kids they can't get up and run, but the little kids run, sit your asses down.
Right.
Dr. Fauci to me was what's his name on it's a cartoon character. The dude's a mad scientist, and him and his grandson, they be traveling around. Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's Dr. Fauci. He 80 years something old. He don't want to get nothing done. He wants to feel like I come. If I was you, shut the country down. Shut it down now. Shut it down now. Overstimulated flu. If you got, I didn't see nobody who didn't have an underlying health issue die.
Right.
If you had an underlying health issue, well, then that's your ass. If you had been drinking water and walking 20 minutes like Cynthia been telling us to do and all that, you wouldn't have been like, hey. Now they telling you to get some prep. Now I had to, I took the Moderna shot. I had to because I was traveling during that time and they wanted me, and so I took it, not probably for the safety of myself, but they didn't know if I had, but I went to the doctor. It was amazing to me how people was listening to their Facebook doctors than their actual doctors. Hold on, man. Let me bring the other co-star, man. What's up with Big Hank?
Man, what's up, Roy Anthony, and what's up, Cynthia Joy? What's
What's up,
happening?
bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm great. I was looking more like a hey there, Sugarfoots and Sweetie Pies and Honey Lips and double. I was looking for one of them, but I'm good. I take that right there. Hey, I take that, man. I love
Next
y'all,
time
man.
I turn it on like I'm supposed to. I know my
I
job.
love,
I know my role.
I love y'all, man. Love
Love
y'all.
you too, bro.
Love
Yes,
you too.
What we talking about, man? I had a
And
couple
then
of
talking about our middle class, and I was just making the subjects about. See, the a lot of people don't understand the tall tale signs about. Okay, we're losing middle class. You're about to be where's rich, poor.
and poor, yeah.
If you have or have not, they're trying to right now. People think regentrification is a joke, but that's real. When they spike up the prices on your homes, okay, people own homes. I'm gonna tell you what gets it. It ain't your house payment. You've been on your house. It's some state taxes, property taxes at the end of the year.
Mhm.
And now what the property tax do is that they say, hey, we won't count you on the first year, but you owe us $5,000. That's the minimum in California. You owe $5,000. Now, the second year, it comes in. Now you got 10,000. What they do is what they call a property lien. Now you got to start to make payments and try to get this 10,000 paid before your third year come in, because interest overflows because you got late fees from your property taxes. It's a cold piece of work.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? The state will take it and then put it in a public auction saying house auction by the state. Cold piece of work. And because people say, oh, they raised the minimum wage to $15. Well, they raised rent prices from a studio apartment to $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that knocked all that shit out. That knocked all that shit down. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing.
They say rent control. I've seen where they swear the person to try to move. They want you to move. They want you to move. Because as soon as they move you out, that motherfucker's coming up back $500-$600.
Shit, I remember one time when a pack of bacon was up to about $9 one time. It came back down, but shit, you used to get 3 or 4 packs for $9. Now you got to get 1 pack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now it makes us like, okay, why would food cost so much?
All
Why
of a
is it that
sudden.
the more we supposed to make money and stuff? And I was just saying, these greedy corporations and then these churches that will sit up here and still wring the money out of people and make them feel guilty when that's not the guilt. It's the ones who host the offering and the tithes. It's the one who's stealing from God and stuff. I've been looking into some stuff. But we got to figure out. She always say, "Oh, well, what's the problems? What the problem? The problems is stop putting them Christmas trees in your house." For real. I read, and if you go to Jeremiah 10, Christmas trees represent a paganism that the heathens got, that they was putting up to as a worship. It even says on there, you adorn it with silver and gold. People was always wanted to have a symbolization of what God was, and God was mad at them. He said, "Hey, we too busy sometimes falling into hedonism, and we thinking about our own emotionals and wondering why things are slipping by because this middle class and the jobs and somebody, okay, you trying to get a job and you think you got a job, but find yourself in worse situations than before you got the job."
Mm-hmm.
Associate's arts degree is like a high school diploma. You're gonna probably be over there if you don't have the patience. Now, if you don't have a spiritual connection with God, at least have that fan base, because we can't get everybody to put your full faith in God. But to this moment, I still can't figure out why California's gas is $5 a gallon and everybody else in the country is $2.80.
Who 280? I wish.
It's $2.80 out here. And going farther down the south and stuff, it gets cheaper than this.
I pay $4.20.
You see what I'm saying?
It's still over $5. It's still over $5 out here.
Yeah.
One time it was damn near $7 or $8 at one time.
I remember I went to try to go get some eggs, and the motherfuckers was almost $20 for the big box. I was like, fuck them eggs.
So now you find yourself in a position where you got to get a job with on top of another job.
And when you got two jobs, when you got time to raise your kids?
You
and then
don't?
they find themselves in the system. So it's a whole.
Why you think they give you a fine so that we can keep your kids with us more than you do? We know you need to get a second job, so you put them over here in our system because it's sure easy to put them in the little after school programs, but it's what they teaching them.
That's the part right there.
But they give you them fines in Los Angeles. If you've been working 2 shifts and you get your child to work to school late, on the third time, that's a fine. You do it again, that's 2 days in jail.
What?
Yeah, that's the truancy laws in Los Angeles. You working where you can make it, but your child is got to school late. I'm working 2 shifts. I'm trying to do where he can. Well, man, we're sorry about that.
Right.
You know, and so this is where middle school, this is where middle class is dissolving for real. It's been happening for a minute.
Yes. Where's the justice? Ain't none.
Every time you're thinking that you're getting up your feet, I remember Big Hank one time said they moved the finish line.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Every time you think you're about to cross that line, you're like, what?
Yeah, that motherfucker, they push that motherfucker back further.
Yeah.
They hit you with a psych.
Like, I couldn't understand. Look, they was supposed to be giving Los Angeles minimum wage $15 basically 6-7 years ago, right? But what they do is they said, well, increments. We'll have it where by 2025, everybody $15. 2025. So the rental people say, well, we're gonna rent this rent all the way up. They're putting you in predicaments. If you don't have 2 or 3 people, or be married like Big Hank and his wife, they work together and stuff, right? If you by yourself, a single mom and stuff, you're looking at
you ain't got a chance. You ain't got a chance.
You got to move to Lancaster, and you're probably gonna have to move more to Victorville now. And a lot of people is moving to Nevada and Texas. Well, check this out. People leaving California to Texas, Big Hank. Guess what Texas people been doing?
Raising the prices? Shit.
Like California.
Yeah, sure. Raise the prices. Shit.
I said, what the?
But to be for real, y'all already knew something was going to change. As soon as they start throwing out them stimulus checks, they was going to find a way to get their money back. And that's just is what it is. It's a simple.
That's why they need to have the churches. They gave the churches $7.3 billion in stimulus money. And that's what I got mad about.
And for why?
Huh?
I said, and for why?
Because remember we got the pandemic.
I'm a girl. I'm like you. I'm saying they get through these churches all this money, and for why? Like,
yeah, I thought they supposed to survive off of tithes and offering. I ain't never heard of a church on welfare, on GR. See, but I and see why we're saying this, y'all, because there's people we pride ourselves on having these conversations, because some people will tend to feel like they're isolated in the way they're thinking and want to go take themselves out. It may seem like it's gloom, and we're saying all the dark parts of it. That's what we like to do. We like to show you the dark parts, because the light part is as long as you stay true righteous, because David said, I'm young and now I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken or their seed begging for bread. And that means something. No matter if the gas got up to $7 an hour, is it going to stop you from driving where you need to go, Big Hank?
No, I still go.
Yeah.
you know, I get my blessings, man. He just keep on blessing me. So,
Yeah.
even I haven't had to change my lifestyle, haven't had to cut back on nothing. I haven't had to do none of that. Uh,
And
so
he's truthful. He's truthful about it. I did. I wasn't paying no tithes. It wasn't that it's mandatory on things. It's just that God's been blessing me on certain things, and I couldn't understand how I get money all the time and I be hungry.
yeah,
Or I'm lacking. Fooling this money will soon depart. I was foolish. Got around Big Hank, and he's like, man, Roy, there ain't nothing changed, man. And then the pastor, he didn't say nothing about time. He just said, man, I'm just pray for you hungry. He didn't tell me to do this and that. The pastor showed me an example. So I started doing everybody was aware since last June. Like, Lord, I put my faith in you.
yes, sir.
A lot of people don't understand. Me and Big Hank, we run the comedy show on Thursday nights. We pay tithes on what we get.
Yes, sir.
We ain't
Yes, sir.
I'm not bragging on it. He don't brag on it. I'm just letting you know we be true to it.
Yes, sir. And we pray before every show.
Pray before every show.
Yes, sir.
I have a ritual where I talk to my mother privately and stuff. He probably has a ritual on how he do things, and then we pray together.
Yes, sir.
When
Yes,
Malika came in the house and stuff, our beautiful sister, beautiful Queen Freshly Beauty, that's Leonie. She's audio. She's back there.
Leonie, how you doing, honey?
Hey, beautiful. I'm driving, so you already know how that goes.
I do. Be safe out there.
I read. Everybody looks so wonderful.
What's up, Leonie? What's happening?
Hey.
All right, man.
I tried to take some of Big Hank's advice and stuff, and tried to go on and say, hey, okay. And then I got a big old Dear John rejection letter.
That's okay. It's only one. You keep doing it.
No, it's hard for me, but I'm just teaching, you know. But you on the line, Miss Leonie, Miss Francine Beauty, and we're talking about where middle class is gone.
Yeah.
It's either you have or you have not.
Yeah, but I have not. I'm gonna speak on what you were speaking on, Roy. I'm gonna speak on what you were speaking on, Roy, a minute ago, man. When you was talking about paying your tithes and doing and not it being mandatory, but something that you do. It's a verse in the Bible, Galatians 6:7. Galatians 6:7 says, "Be not deceived, for God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap."
Come on.
So okay. So that's what you get when you do tithe. It's not just tithe, it's anything you do. It's good or bad. You're gonna reap whatever you sow. Whatever you sow, you're gonna get that back. So as long as you're sowing it, whatever it is, good, bad. That's why I try to sow as much good as I can, because I know every now and then I do something retarded and dumb and you know, but I try to sow so much good that it just overtake the bad, man. And
man,
but,
you got me.
But what's gonna come up? They all gonna come up.
Yeah,
they all gonna reap. It's just what you like to start reaping, man. And I was reaping a lot of bad for a long time, man. I stayed in the penitentiary. I stayed messing up. I stayed, you know, and now I don't do that no more, because now I reaped all that bad, and I sold all that bad, and I reaped a lot of it, and now I'm doing some good, and I'm starting to get some of that. So love y'all, man. I just wanted to put that out there.
That's what's up. And that's facts. Sow the right seeds and you reap the benefits. Yes. But no, it says well, Roy, Cynthia, Hank, much love for a great conversation so far. We got to get back to it. You guys have a great day. God bless. Love you all.
And man, he sent me that too. That's Carl Loomis. He's
Loomis, Carl.
But when you was talking, Big Hank,
yeah,
I'm not lying. I was like, if you would been in the pulpit, it's been me right there, right here. I was like, hey.
Your mic is muted, Roy. Your mic muted.
He doing some talking.
No, your mic muted.
Again, unmute your mic. You showing your age, bro. You showing your age.
No, I kind of did. My mouth thing be sticking. But I was thinking about this, and when Jobs is not there, it's like when Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor of California. All the summer jobs was canceled. He exterminated, all right. I know you cats were talking about, I'm voting for me to terminate. I'm like, dude, you don't know nothing about it. It's a movie. He terminated, all right, terminated summer programs, after school programs, summer jobs. I mean, for real. And one of the things I noticed is that when there is no type of concentrated activities, especially for anybody from young and economic process, making someone feel adequate, guess what? Crime went up. If what's going on now with the middle class crashing, you have crime is going up. It's hard to be where you live in the same neighborhood with somebody and you work, and all of a sudden your job is crunching down. I've been a victim of that. I was working with this firm, and the board members was questioning why wasn't they getting their full monthly their dividend check or whatever, right? And they said, well, we still on a personal property. They said, well, can we let some of them guys go? Because I'm used to having my 10 for real. And I was one of them. I was 2 or 3 of us that was laid off because the board. How I know? They hired me back the next year. They offered me. I said, wait a minute, what? He said, man, it was the board members, man. As long as they're satisfied. And I'm like, I don't think I want to work for a company where I gotta concentrate on the board. But guess what? That's what it is.
That's what it is, exactly.
You can own a McDonald's and stuff, but you got to fall up under the trademarks of McDonald's for them to deliver the same meat and everything. You start doing it your way, they ain't gonna deliver you the patties and all that.
Yeah, it'd be like, nigga, this is like more like McDaniels, not McDonald's, nigga. I don't want shit tastes like McDaniels. Nigga. What is it?
You feel me? and so now we're in a crisis. Because if you're doing it, somebody else ain't doing what's they thinking. You ever remember the story of the 2 ladies? They had a baby, and one of the ladies' baby died. And so they took the baby before Solomon. He's the king at this time.
King Solomon.
And they was going back and forth. They're like, this is my baby. No, this is my baby. This is that baby and all that. So all of a sudden, the king said, okay, enough is enough. I'm just take this sword and I'm going to cut the baby in half. And that way,
one of y'all get half, you get one half, you get the other half.
And the other lady's like, no,
please don't
let her have the baby.
Yeah.
And that king said, you know what?
That's who the mama is. Now who? I know who mama is. I know who the mama is.
Because the other lady didn't scream out.
No.
Because her baby done died. So she like, let her baby be dead too.
Yeah.
And so this is the type of society we're living in right now. I was amazed how many people was trying to go out and party and stuff like that. And you're telling me you can't pay your electricity bill.
Right.
I seen a black dude had this big column and stuff. I said, Leonie, she would have been proud of this dude. He was on the thing on Facebook. He said, I'm so many times I've had to come on Facebook and participate in somebody's GoFundMe for somebody, and then you think I'm talking about GoFundMe, and no, I'm trying to figure out why you don't get no life insurance. That's what he did. He broke it down like you get all these GoFundMes and stuff and all this, and you want to blame this and that. Why you don't have no life insurance? We want to put our money in. See, some of y'all, okay, you'll see Leonie or see Cynthia, they looking nice, and you see Big Hank with a nice hat and everything. Well, guess what? They work to get to that point. Just because you don't have it at this moment don't mean you go to jack them for theirs or jack somebody else to try to obtain it. That's why we got more people in labor, especially in the black community. We got more black men in prison than we had in all the time of slavery. When Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation, it was exactly 4.2 million people, and that was accounted for during that time. Right to this day, we have almost 18 million cats in prison. We're the only country that send cats to prison for drug offenses, DWIs. Oh, this is the second one. Make you feel guilty. Well, don't you think I should have Betty Ford? Why I got to do 2 years up in Wayside? You feel me? Keep it 100. It said Robert Downey Jr. was caught behind my apartment in downtown Long Beach. I was off of 4th and Long Beach with crack rocks all on his lap. They gave him 6 months at some place, and next thing you know, he was doing Iron Man.
Doing movies again.
Yep. High in the motherfucker doing Iron Man. That's why he crashed in the desert. He was high in the motherfucker. I tried to mix a little Iron Man piece of movie with it.
Gotcha.
But the war on drugs for blacks was to throw us in prison.
Yeah.
10 black dude with 1 crack rock. Prosecutors said, oh yeah, he's a distributor. This is a true story. True story. Partner of mine, uncle. Never had a case in his life. Never. The prosecutors kept trying to make him out that he was a kingpin. He said, no, I'm just a person who stored my money up and everything, right? Yeah. Okay. So he stays out until sentencing. When it's time for him to go sentence, he goes in there with his lawyer and everything. When they go to sentence him, the bailiffs come behind him. Gave him 150 years. So of course,
for what?
For that's what I'm saying. Hey, when I tell people, when you have a prosecutors named Shapiro and all that, and hey man, guess what? That's your ass. And they seem to be all over the U.S. prosecution systems. But check this out: gave him 150 years because they was proving that he was a kingpin. Never had a case
for one rock.
For rocks, they said they built a case that they had other people working for them and all that. Sound like somebody taking plea deals. So, tell is what they say, tell on your friend instead of doing 10. Sound like somebody was unloyal, whatever. But so it's an uproar. Fighting everything, right? Hell no, bailiff's right. So the judge is hitting his gavel. The judge is hitting the gavel. This is where humanity. The judge said, okay. I know. That seems like it's a bit harsh, 150 years. He said, this is what we're going to do. You just do what you can, and we're going to help you with the rest. And he got up and left out the courtroom. That's the judge. You hear what he said, right? You do what you can, and we'll help you with the rest.
Man, please.
For drugs.
Yep.
Now it's DUIs. Now it's child support.
Man, it's anything we can get them Negroes on. That's what it is. Anything we can get them Negroes on, put that on the ballot. Put that on the thing.
Back in the day, Ice Cube had a song, and it was called Summer Summer. He said, how many prisoners y'all gonna build? I mean, now, people don't understand, when he said this song, Ronald Reagan was the president, and President Joe Biden of now was the architect for the crime bill, where they was giving private sanctions a chance to open up their own personal prisons, private prisons that the three of us can own, and then do like this. Well, we built a 2,500 unit facility. We would like to have at least an 80% max at the minimum. You heard what they asked? Look it up. They asked for 80% the minimum. So if it's 2,500 and you ask the state for a minimum of 80%, and the state is telling them, yes, we will make sure that happens, Now you wonder why you got to send guys to prison with the second DUI and their child support and all that.
Yeah.
Because the state pays for each prisoner to be held. They say we don't want nothing. These are people, talking about people. We don't want to hold nothing under 80%. We were so crowded with prisons in California, we started selling them over there to Wisconsin and everybody else for the work with the fires up the north. Am I correct, Big Hank?
I don't know. What do you mean? You mean sending guys up north?
Yeah. They send them to state Wisconsin. There's this thing, you can look it up, y'all, where they were saying that we were so much overcrowded with prisons that we was basically shuffling some of our prisoners over that way, over to other states.
I remember when it was a crowd, when it was a real crowd problem. I don't think they got that problem no more. They send everybody home.
Now, when a person gets out now, we're talking about middle class is leaving. So a person gets out, where they at? They down there with the rest of us poor folks. Yeah. We're working just a job, just to have barely a roof over our heads. And somebody came. Oh, Francine said, I hate that there is a bad reception. I can understand. And so we can't, that's how big she had to leave out. BK, we closing down. I wait for Cynthia to come back in, but closing words, bro.
Man, Roy, you know how we get down, man. It ain't nothing changed on mine. Let me tell you, listeners, something. The first thing you got to do is be consistent in whatever it is that you standing on. Okay, you can't be wishy-washy. You can't. So what I do is I try to live life every day like God is watching me, because I know He is. And when you live life like that, there's some things that you just won't do. You know what I mean? There's some things that you just won't do. When you think God is watching, you reach for it, you be like, you know what, no, man, I ain't gonna, no. You know, so it's just some things that you won't do when you know that God is watching. So live life like God is watching and keep Him first and foremost in your life, and watch prayer change things.
And I'm glad while we're waiting for Cynthia was there Thursday with us at our show here in downtown Long Beach.
Yeah.
246 East 3rd Street.
Yeah.
Downtown Long Beach. It's easy to find us. And if you can't find us there, if you're not in Cali or anything like that, you can find us live on YouTube, just at Roy Anthony Live. I'm telling you, people are starting to go to, you know what I'm saying? We got comedians now hitting us up, coming in town like Cynthia did. Cynthia was in a nice part of your what we call itinerary and stuff, and she was there, kicked it, had fun, and then went about her business throughout LA. And so if you're there, you can please ask you to subscribe to Roy Anthony. Starla said, that's right, Big Hank. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Starla.
Yeah. And I don't know when Cynthia's coming back. I don't know if she's coming back for a second. But I want to say the same thing as Big Hank. Sometimes when it was times that I had to act like God wasn't watching, because there was some stuff that I did, and I used to be like, hey, and then I'm constantly got to look over my shoulder and stuff. These past, I would say 10 years, I have not had that looking over my shoulder. There was situations that I had started actually, and we was making it where you can't just get out of it like that. And I went on and was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I will never get into it. I was laughing because lady said, You know, I thought you was a square until I got to hearing you talk. All right. So, Cynthia, we was closing out last minute. I was giving some time for you to come in. Any closing thoughts, sugar?
Oh, as always, stay blessed by the best. Never give in to giving up on yourself. When you're down, there's nowhere else to go but up. And believe in that strength in you to push through what life throws at you.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell y'all something. I was around Cynthia. I would not ever thought that she had any this effect or survival of a stroke or nothing.
No.
I'm like, either that surgery is really doing. She kept her hands sometimes a little bit, but when she got the live, he wasn't thinking about it. I'm like, man, it was good to see that. I was glad. It was an honor to be with all three of us. I never got no.
Cynthia, I wanted to say that I enjoyed you last week. You are hilarious. Keep doing what you're doing. You dumb, man. You really, really are dumb, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. And I'm super duper proud of you, man. And I don't care how old you get or how long you're doing this comedy, you're gonna be my little sis, and I can't call you that name that you wanted me to call you. I just can't.
Just call me Joy when you introduce me.
All right. I can't do the other part. You my little sis. There's no way I could be. They'd be like, that nigga's a molester. Is he a molester?
Yeah, see.
And
we I want everybody knows next Thursday we won't on Thanksgiving night. Now we won't be having a show or the comedy stand-up show that night. Yes. So put that on your calendar. I'm out of here. This is Big Hank, Cynthia. Starlet said all you guys are special.
Love you, Starlet.
Sugarfoot.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all stay up, man. God bless everyone. See y'all Thursday.
See you Thursday.
Peace out.
Peace.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony and
Every
Friends show.
Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is
Anthony
anybody out
show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank.
And Cynthia